Thank you for watching the World Community Magazine's Hour of Power Live on Facebook with your hosts Edward McQueen and April Garner.
And yes, we are live. I'm your host today, Ed McQueen for WCM Live. And good evening to all of you. We certainly want to make sure that this is a very informative segment for the show. So I want to ask the big question is, are we ready for summer jobs? Please say yes, we are. So we want to get your pencils ready and get ready to listen to some things that we're going to kind of walk you through what some of the requirements are, and hopefully we can have a successful summer job program like we had last year. This year we do have, and as our guest today, we have a gentleman that played an integral part. His firm, his parents' firm, played an integral part in making sure that last year's summer job program was a success, and it was. So just let me say thank you in advance for all of you who donated last year to our summer jobs program. We're certainly hoping that you're just as generous this year. Last year we had, I think close to at least 40, if not more. We want more. We want to put them to work. We want to put all of our youth to work. Okay, so we have a gentleman today, as I mentioned earlier, to kind of articulate the importance of the summer job program with us. So without further ado, let me bring on our special guest. And he is Mr. George E. Graham II. Mr. Graham, we chose Mr. Graham. Well, he was rapidly willing to talk about and articulate the importance of the summer job program. Just if I may say first, Mr. Graham, that we certainly appreciate you coming on our broadcast to articulate this importance of this thing. Okay. Having said that, we do recognize that you're a member of the mighty Kappa Alpha Psi fraternity.
Yes, sir.
I know a lot of brothers who are members of that.
Yes,
So nothing against all the other fraternities. I think they're all doing a great job. I really do. Locally, yes, from what I've seen anyway. So and you also are a regular at the law firm of McIver and Graham, and yes, and you are a law of jurisprudence. I mean, you have your JD. Okay.
Yes.
So we so graciously you all so graciously participated in our summer youth program last year, and we it's like an engram that's left in us on the outcome of the students that you all hired. So your participation, along with Mr. Winston McIver, Senior of the McIver Graham law firm, and Mr. George Graham, yes, was very important ingredient to the success of the two students you accepted to a training last year. So, and before I go any further, I want to say congratulations to on being a recipient, the Kappas, being a recipient of the Conway Myrtle Beach alumni chapter of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Inc. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. That is correct.
All right, and the chapter has been awarded the what we call the J. Michael Green Alumni Chapter of the Year Award by the Southeastern Province of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated.
Yes,
this was done at the annual Province Council. I understand that was a very, very important council, and held on March 30th to April 1st of this year.
Yes, sir.
In Atlanta, Georgia. So congratulations to you brothers. So I know that this award recognizes the outstanding accomplishments and contributions of alumni chapters from the Southeastern Province. The Southeastern Province includes chapters from South Carolina, Georgia, Nigeria, South Africa, and the United Arab Emirates.
Yes, sir.
It's good to know that you're broad in that way. You know,
yes,
and I'm so proud here, man, to know that. So in addition to the community service efforts you brothers are doing, the Conway branch or the Conway chapter also provides a successful, and I attended one of these, successful male mentoring program called the Kappa League.
Yes,
And
sir.
later on, you can kind of elaborate on a little bit on that and expand on that. But just a short narrative indicates that the program provides young men in the community with opportunities for personal and professional development through mentorship.
Yes, sir.
Man, academic support, volunteerism, which is needed. Okay, we have to get into this knowing how to volunteer and know what the outcome is for later on in life, and also leadership training.
Yes, sir.
And that's important. So we've featured the magazine. Featured this event in our magazine a number of times throughout our endurance of the magazine. So, and you got a total of what, 14? My understanding, 14 men.
Yes, sir.
I'm on young men. Okay.
14 young. Yes, sir. That's correct.
Man, and the last one that I saw, which was held at the I think it was a restaurant, right?
Golden Corral.
Yeah, right. Golden Corral. Yeah. And these brothers, they were so young, but they acted so mature.
Yes, sir.
Wow. I mean, that's to us, that's a golden catch. Okay. And so
yes,
we're certainly proud of that, and certainly proud that you guys are leading that. And yes, congratulations again, and to this whole group, man. See there?
Yes, sir. That's a good picture.
This whole group, man. So that's the Conway Myrtle Beach Alumni Chapter of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity, Inc. Okay. Yes, so to our viewers, we didn't come here specifically for this, but we had to incorporate the accolades to be given to this fraternity because of what that's connected to the summer jobs program. Okay. Yes. And hopefully they can be a lot more integral in their working with us and dealing with us in the future and this summer. So we'll talk about that at a later time. So, and with our summer jobs program, let me give you a brief look at what we are dealing with here. Okay. This is the front page of our magazine. And it says briefly that this youth summer job is a community appeal. We are appealing to the community like we do every year. So far we've been successful. I mean, we've got, as you can see there, we just put up the graphics of a few places that were involved, and few places that were contributing to the placement of our youth. But you can see the number of youth there, okay, including the field trip at the bottom. So from left to right, the left top, that's the Conway Rec Center with Ashley Smith, who's the director there. And by the way, Ashley just sent out a communique saying June 2nd, which is that Friday, June 2nd, they're having grand opening of the Smith Jones swimming pool. So, okay, grand opening. And next going over, we got the James Fraser Community Center, where Miss Betty Goss, the mighty Miss Betty Goss, taking care of things over there. Man, she's doing a fantastic job.
Yes, sir.
And going further over to our right is the Hope and Freedom Home Care. That's Miss Angela Walker and her son Travis there, and they got the student that they so graciously accepted and sponsored right next to them. Okay, bottom left is that they call this the Camp Great. This is actually coordinated by the Conway Police Department, but we sponsored the students, and we paid for them working there. Down at the bottom there, 3 of them, and next to that is the Palmetto Church Summer Camp, which is held every year and done by or monitored by, for lack of a better word, Reverend Cheryl Moore Adamson and she's in charge of that camp every year. And that's why it's called the Palmetto. The Palmetto is the name of her church. Fantastic job she's been doing for the past number of years. And also next right there, that's a field trip that just some of the students went on. This was at the Cecil Williams Black Museum in Orangeburg. I see you shaking your head, so you know that Mr. Cecil's been doing a good job down there.
Yes, sir. It is a beautiful facility. If you guys haven't been, check it out. Yeah,
right. We intend to do it again. We just haven't seen enough, or enough students haven't seen it. Put it that way. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So briefly.
There.
Yeah. So I'm skipping everything else, Brother Graham. So you do, for the people who don't know you, you came on here. You wanted to share with us the importance of investing in summer youth employment. Okay. So would you like to articulate that by just beginning letting people know who you are, and give yourself a little background on that, okay?
Yes, sir. So as Mr. McQueen said, my name is George Edward Graham II. I am the son of attorney George Graham and Frances Graham. If you see my parents, then you know I was raised in the church and raised to be a hard worker. Well, that hard work for me started actually at my father's law firm. It started by going there during the summertime. First started off, breaking down files, things of that nature, and it turned into me becoming interested in the law field. So that's how I actually got my start. It's amazing how something as small as this is going to be a summer job for you, just to keep you out of trouble, keep you, on the straight and narrow, turned into this is where I want my profession to be later on in life. I have a friend who did not want to take on a summer job because it wasn't in her major, it wasn't in her field of study, but you never know how something like this can impact your life. So I'm thankful for summer jobs. That is how I cut my teeth, as the older people will say. That is how I cut my teeth in the law profession.
All right, man. Listen, and again, we can't thank McIver and Graham enough, because later on we'll let the people know just how intricate things they were in making sure that ours was successful last year. I'm not putting anything against all the other contributors. I mean, because everybody, as far as I'm concerned, everybody did an excellent contribution. The places that decided to accept our young people to do something, okay, just to do any kind of work, okay, just to make sure that they're receiving a paycheck, and let them know what it's like, and that some of them know that you can't go to an ATM machine without having any money in there.
Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, this is I'm just had to throw that in because this was mentioned to me by one of the bankers, okay. So and one of the people who had the replacement for and it was, I was a little taken back by that because I didn't think that things were really we had scenarios like that, okay, but they exist.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and that helps everybody to know that. Okay, so Brother George, we what I want to do is put up the appeal that we have. Would refer our people to. By the way, we're going to be hopefully whenever we receive some comments, and I think you know how that works, right?
Yes, sir.
And you can just respond to them and so forth. Okay.
Yes,
So just to let everybody know, let me show the appeal that we've decided to run. That is what we're looking at. It's the third page in our magazine, and it's our 2023 Youth Summer Jobs Program. Now we're collaborating as we did last year, but it wasn't stipulated as it should have been stipulated, in collaboration with the Summer Reading Initiative, and this is headed by Ms. Margie McIver.
Yes,
we call her the icon of Conway.
Yes,
I
sir.
know she wouldn't like that, but she's done an excellent job, and just to narrate a little bit what that entitles, the collaboration with the Summer Reading Initiative. A book, one or two books that they are issued to any students who decided that they want to participate in the program, and they have the assignment to read the book over a number of weeks and come back and express their views on it, and if they have any graphics they want to display, that too. And it was just awesome for the past 2 years, and I just saw some talent there. Man, that was just magnificent. So anyway, this what you see on the screen is for a breakdown of sponsorship and some of the requirements, such as the ages from 14 to 17 years old. If you're right at the threshold of each one, we'll try to be flexible. Okay, it depends on your need. Okay, used to be 4 weeks, but the students been asking for a longer time to work, so we kind of increased it to like 5 weeks and say, well, we'll do what we can. And so the sponsorship is as follows: like for 5 weeks, it's $600. 4 weeks, sponsorship is $480. This is for one student. 3 weeks sponsorship is $360. 2 weeks is $240. 1 week is $120. Look, if we get enough of these 3 week sponsors, 4 week sponsors, and even 1 week sponsors, would have, in that case, we'd have to depend on volume in order to make sure that we can accommodate all the students that who come and ask for a job. That's all they have to do, just come and ask for a job. Of course, we call it registration. We'll talk about that a little later as to when they can register. And we also have a pre-registration or an orientation period. They've been successful in the past, so we don't see why it can't be again. So we're asking that can also be done as a group. Okay, maybe sponsor 5 weeks for a child. So you can make your check payable to the Whittemore Magazine. We're maintaining that because that's what the email is in, even though it's been changed over the year to the World Community Magazine to reflect our reach and how far we've grown and how far we're reaching people, because we're on Facebook, our website, and YouTube. Okay, so make your check payable to the Whittemore Magazine, and you can send it to the Whittemore Magazine Hour of Power, LLC, Youth Summer Job Program, and the Summer Reading Initiative. Okay, we're including that this time, and the Summer Reading Initiative. P.O. Box 2391, Conway, South Carolina 29528. You can hopefully you can see at the bottom there who you're going to be sending it to, or you can call for information. You can call my number, which is 202-460-1390, and you see the other numbers down at the bottom there. Okay, so again, I'll bring this back up at another time, but we do want to reiterate that we're in need of funds, and we're just hoping and praying that this is another successful year for getting even more students. Okay, so let's just look at our future. That's all you got to look at, our future. Okay. Again, so Brother George, let's say that your group, your fraternity, which has been doing something on that magnitude, right, on this scale, but in a different form or fashion. You're dealing with the youth,
Yes, sir.
and on the promotion, I didn't know what this was, but you had it labeled as you are the pole march of the Conway. Look, man,
Yes, sir.
please explain that to us, okay?
So for Kappa Alpha Psi, the pole mark is the same thing as a president. So I am the president of the Conroe Myrtle Beach Alumni Chapter of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated. Yes, sir.
President.
Yes, sir.
President.
Mark means president. Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. Look. There probably some people laughing at me right now about.
No,
right.
No, Brother McQueen. Every organization calls it different things. We just happen to call it a pole mark. Yes, sir.
Okay. You just happen to call it a pole march. Well,
Yes,
well, that's interesting. I mean, there's always something new to be learned.
Yes, sir.
Okay. What I wanted to show also was there were some of the requirements for the parents. If you're listening, the requirements of parental permission. Okay. That's been a little delicate in the past, but let me just say that we are serious about that, and just let me just show you what we're talking about here. It's called the parental permission / hold harmless agreement. Now we've had some legal guidance on this, so pay close attention to the language, just to make sure that your son is being, or your child is being protected. So it starts with the parent's name that goes in the blank, and the other two blanks are for the child itself. It may look simple, but we advise you to please just read it carefully and make sure that you register with this in mind. Okay, you see at the bottom down there in blue that the participation of this program is scheduled to run from June 12th this year to July 14th. Now that's 5 weeks. Okay, we'll add as it turns out, based on the funds, we'll do whatever we can. Okay, if to run more. Hey, we need that. We need to have them working. Okay, so there you have that. And if you want a copy of that, I advise you to please go back and call the number at the bottom down there with the three names, myself, our treasurer, Ms. Jennar Flowers Falk, and Ms. McIver, who heads the summer, the enrichment initiative, reading initiative. Okay, we're looking for some great things, and for anybody who if you have a child, don't worry where he or she is going to be employed. We'll find some place for them. Okay, but one thing I need to bring out and that is the date for orientation is usually a week before the summer job begins. Okay, usually a week before then. So it's likely that we will have. It's likely, we're working on it, that we'll have our orientation at one of the local venues around on June the 3rd, which is that Saturday. Okay, because the 2nd is the last day of school, my understanding, for Ouray County. So we will have it on that 3rd, which will be 1 week away from the actual reporting date for work. Okay, so and you saw earlier where we have the different venues, but there was just a few. Okay, we couldn't just put all all the places that were willing to accept our young people just to work and to do something. Okay, so we're looking forward to it. And again, we appeal for your donations. To do this again. Okay. Brother George, I'm going to go back to you again. Before I start, I really want to show our audience some highlights of last year. You know, some students, and we just can't show them to them all. So what we decided to do was to break them down. We'll show, since we're talking about your law firm now and what they've done. I do want to mention that there were others. Of course, I mentioned it before, and we're going to want to show videos of them in the coming weeks. Okay, up until the day of starting to work for our youth. And look, I might add that they are. I mean, we haven't had any issues. I mean, these young people wanted to work, man. I mean, they just wanted to work. And I was glad that we were there for them, provided something for them for 4 or 5 weeks. We've had good collaboration, by the way, with the Conway Recreation and Parks. And that was over at the fitness center over on Mill Pond Road. In fact, 1 or 2 of our youth stayed on for the remaining of the year last year. Okay, and they will continue throughout working there. Okay, so we're proud of that we kind of nurtured somebody to do that. So they should have a number of them this year. Last year we had I believe 8. Something like that, 8 or 9. But that's what we want to do. And if you see, like here, on the left, right there, top left, that's the Conway Recreation Center, where you have Mr. Ashley Smith as the director over there. And you can count the number of students there. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about 6 students, I believe, that we were responsible for paying for. Of course, Conway Recreation Center, we had a collaboration with them such that their contributions were not just was more than just placing there. They contributed considerably in a monetary fashion in terms of helping us with paying the students. We thought that was a great appeal. So and so we're happy for that. Okay. So getting back to what just a summary of last year. Let me start with, if I may, start with the 2 students we had at your firm. I know you all were proud of them, so and that's why we're real glad that we featured them. And so their names, they are. Cameron Naya Miller and Mariah Floyd. Cameron Miller is right at the top up there, and Mariah Floyd is right there next to her. And it seemed like they were going over some things that they were assigned by Lawyer Graham, whom I've been talking to at the time, who we were talking to. They had an assignment. That I looked at that as enriching. I looked at that as, that's something I would want my child to be in.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's something that I would want my child to be in. And what do you think about that?
So, at McIver and Graham, we call it the student internship program. Some of their activities when they first come in the day, they get a 10-minute enrichment or life lesson. That is talking about things that are going on in their lives and how the law affects their lives. So if I'm not mistaken, with Mariah and Cameron, we sat down and we talked about what was going on with George Floyd and how that is affecting their life and affecting life to come. So from that enrichment lesson, we also give some of the activities are a courthouse tour. They attend court with the attorneys. They go through miscellaneous filing. They observe real estate things, client intake for personal injury cases, and they have conferences. This actually, so they're in the property section. So it looks like they're going over these, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, because that's that's the property section. So they're going over these at this point. Knowing this time, probably Attorney Graham has asked him, what is the difference between a grantor and a grantee? Which is my favorite question. It is breaking down small parts of law that they can, of course, pull apart, but it's lessons they can take with them for the rest of their lives.
Right. Man, that is such a knowledge base there that I think any child would be, or parents of any child would be glad to see that happening. I'd like to elaborate just a little bit more as to where they are going. As soon as I show you some more photos of them at your office. I think now Attorney Graham seemed to have been the most involved from what I've seen. I mean, every time we go over there, anyway. So, and here he is. They're going over something that was in that booklet, and he was explaining to them.
Yes, sir. So Mr. McQueen is weird, but I know exactly what book that is. That book deals with probate matters. So he created a book to explain to the staff and to the summer internship students how to go about a probate case from the very beginning to the very end. And that's what that book is. So yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now, don't get it twisted. Attorney McIver is in there as well when it comes down to
absolutely. And yeah, we're coming to him. Yeah, we're coming to him. Yeah, he's definitely an intricate part in there. And then so they decided to just pose. They want to pose with Attorney Graham there. So we decided to put that in there too.
Yes, sir.
And that's a nice pose. It's really a nice pose there. As we said, we will talk about Attorney McIver also. So so we had to get, I made it a point to have all three of you there. As Mr. McIver was sitting there, and Attorney Graham on the left, and there you are on the right. And that kind of capped off that evening.
Yes, sir.
With that, I thought that but the students, the two students, they kind of wanted to get in that photo also, but I decided to just pick up some video on them to let the people know, how enthused they were about theirs. So let's do this. Let's just show some video. We'll start with Cameron here, who's the oldest of the two, by the way. And just let me say that she's on her way. Okay, she's on her way to. She's in engineering school at North Carolina A&T. Okay.
Yes, sir. She's a proud Aggie. Yes, sir.
Yeah, a proud Aggie. Okay. All right. So.
My name is Cameron Miller. I am a student with the World Magazine's summer program. And this summer I work with Attorney McIver and Graham's law firm. We learned a lot in the law firm. We learned mostly about property and deeds. And we toured the courthouse and we learned the different places in there and the difference between criminal law and civil law. And Basically, what we've been doing here is filing papers and going through different people's files and pulling files that are closed and organizing the law firm. Yeah. I've enjoyed it. I enjoy the challenge that the attorneys give when they assign us to do work because it's not easy, but it's not hard either. It's just something that you got to think about. So, yeah, that's it.
Wow. Brother Graham, I might add, I wanted to add a little earlier that, again, she's in civil engineering. Okay.
Yes, sir.
And I'm sure you probably know that. She was probably keeping in touch with everybody. And it's been very, very good at that. So we're so very proud, man. I am. Okay. Engineering was my field. So,
yes, sir.
so I'm glad about that. And the other young lady was Miss Mariah Floyd. Now, Mariah has a lot of accomplishments under her belt. Okay. And you can attribute that to the great mom and dad.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Of Mariah. So let me just show a little clip of what she said. Okay.
Hi, I'm Mariah Floyd. I'm 14 years old and I've been working here at McIver & Graham Law Firm. I've had an amazing time here. It's been a great experience working with all the attorneys and learning the different parts of law, going to the courthouse, seeing all the different rooms and departments. I enjoy being here. I enjoy learning about the law experience, I guess. But yes, it's been very enjoyable. Even though it was a lot of work, I enjoyed it.
All right. So you guys must have been putting it to them in terms of making sure. You can go ahead and elaborate a little bit more, George.
Yes, sir. So, Mr. McQueen, I'm laughing because this is my first time seeing these videos, and it means a lot to see that they're getting something out of the experience.
Right.
We try to make sure that the experience is enjoyable, but that you also get a practical side of how the legal profession is. A lot of people only know, oh, I need a lawyer because I got in some criminal trouble. But like I was telling someone earlier, the law is very, 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 very broad. There's so many different niches that you can involve yourself into when it comes down to the legal field. It's not just criminal and civil anymore. You have property. You have one of my friends now who is a drone attorney, where he's only thing he does all day is does contracts for drones and looks at drones, and it's like, oh my gosh, how did you think of that? Or from people who just take on contracts, but certain different types of contracts, whether it be for a party or whether it's for buying a car. Every aspect of your life involves the law. And that's one thing that we try to teach them. That way they'll know, oh, it's not just, I need a lawyer when I get in trouble, because that's all you hear. Let me dial those numbers. I'm not going to give them any free promotion, but let me dial those numbers and call this attorney because I'm in trouble. Nah, it's not that. The law field is very, very broad, and you can get in any type that you want. So Mr. McQueen put out the offer earlier. Come on down to McIver & Graham. We will find a spot to help you out. You're still on mute, Mr. McQueen. Mr. McQueen, you're muted.
Yeah, okay. I'm sorry. Say that again so you can so they can come on down.
Yes, sir. Come on down to McIver & Graham, at least for the summer. So normally our student internship program, we ask that you are at least 16. Only that way you can have transportation. You want to provide your own transportation. But if you're 14 and you can provide your own transportation, that's all fine with us.
Wow.
There are spots available.
Yeah. Oh, wow. I hope they're listening to that, boy. I tell you. I wanted to. I had some more videos, but I think I should get back to the requirements for our appeal for funds and for resources to make all this happen again, Brother George.
Yes, sir.
So let me just say to our viewers that you can call those numbers down at the bottom there. Okay. Myself, you can call our treasurer, Ms. Jenna Flowers Falk, and Ms. Marjorie McIver. Make your check or money order to Whittemore Magazine. We're keeping it at Whittemore Magazine instead of saying World Community Magazine. It takes a while to kind of like shy, and blend into the new title there.
Yes, sir.
But again, for 5 weeks, we'll go over the sponsorship again. I just wanted. By the way, the age is from 14 to 17 years old. Okay. Again, we're flexible if you're at the crust of that. If you're turning 14, I think it's a good chance we can explore that. That. And if you're 17 and based on need, and you just turn 18, like people just graduating, or they're, but they need work during the summertime. It's incumbent of us to do that, to make sure that we're flexible. Okay. So we're saying that so that you all can take note of that. All we want to do is our viewers is to teach them how to work, because they do want to work.
Yes, sir.
And again, approximately June 12th, we'll begin, but we'll continue to take them even after that date. Okay. But we're still want your donations to help facilitate that. So again, for 5 weeks it's $600. We've got some commitments, by the way. We had some pledges. Let me just say that. And it makes us feel good. Okay, we've had some telephone pledges from people. 5 weeks is $600. 4 weeks is $480. 3 weeks, $360. 2 weeks, $240. 1 week sponsorship is $120. Contributions of $100 or less, is appreciated. Okay, it's accepted. So please. We make this appeal to you, and our churches. Our churches should be fully integrated into this, and ready to assist us, probably more than anybody else. But I don't want to overstate it. So, but anyway, again, there you have it. So. Mr. Floyd, I'm going. What can I just call you George a second?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. So can I just go back to your where the Kappas? Those are not all the members of the local Kappas, are there?
No, sir. No, sir. No, sir. So on our books right now, we have over 35 to 40 members on our books. Yes, sir. These are just a few who came to take the picture. Yes, sir.
Wow. Well, that was in Atlanta, by the way, right?
This picture is at
Miller
Mott.
Miller Mott University.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Pictures at Miller Mott.
And the very quiet brother that's holding up the plaque. Every time I try to talk to him sometime, and he's just awfully, to me, he's awfully quiet, but he's a good brother. I like him.
Brother Bellamy. Yes, sir.
Brother Bellamy. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, well, congratulations to everybody on that photo, and I don't have to say who's next to Mr. Bellamy right there.
Yes, sir.
On the right and the left, you got the,
yes, sir. Yes, sir. Both of these great men in Kappa Alpha Psi. Yes, sir.
What is it?
They're great men in Kappa Alpha Psi. I mean, we make achievement a lifestyle, not just a goal, and we try to install that in our Kappa leaguers as well. Everything that you do, focus on achievement. If you focus on achievement, everything will be okay. That's the way every single Kappa in the world feels. If you focus on achievement, make achievement a lifestyle, you have no problem. We've been training for leadership since 1911. Yes, sir.
So, Brother George, that Kappa League, that's interesting. I never had the opportunity to hold a conversation with somebody on as to an elaboration of what it's about.
Yes, sir.
Can you kind of elaborate a little bit further, other than you may have touched base on it a little bit before, but can you kind of elaborate on what when the league was formed? Is just local, or do you expand it out to the statewide?
No, sir. So Kappa League is nationwide. It is not just statewide. Hold on one second. Kappa League is nationwide. It is not just statewide. I want to make sure I get the founding date correct. I don't want to tell you what leads you astray. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. I knew it was in February, but I would have had the date completely wrong. February 12, 1969 was when Kappa League came to be. So with the Conway Myrtle Beach, we like to call ourselves the premier male mentoring program, because you saw all of the great men who were in the picture. We all pour out our time and our talents into these young men, telling them, different things with everything from how to get dressed in the morning. There's a problem when it comes down to the way our young men present themselves, how they present themselves to the public, how they present their family. And we sit down and we have, I like to call them real talk sessions, whereas, hey, why are you dressing like this? Why is this the music that you listen to? No, there's nothing wrong with rap music, but know what is going on. Know the style that you're portraying. Where did you get this style from? Talks on that. Etiquette lessons on which fork do you pick up when you're at the dinner table. Is it the small one? Is it the large one? Is it the one to your right or to your left? How do you go on a date? We stress. Talk to these fathers before you try to take their daughters out on a date. We stress. Have these positive relationships, not negative relationships. That's positive with all women, not just the girls that you are trying to talk to, but all women in general. That's including your teachers, along with your parents. We talk about getting it done in the classroom. If you can work and play outside the classroom, you can get it done in the classroom as well. There's nothing wrong with your brain. Get it done. The classroom is where it starts at. Actually, just the first Saturday, Kappa League had a meeting and we discussed just that topic. Why aren't our black males getting it done in the classroom? What is the problem? Some of the issues that came up were, Mr. G, we're not getting paid for this. We're not getting paid to go to school, but you are. Your job starts now. How much money you make in the long run, it starts now by how much work you put in. Those are the type of lessons that we talk about in Kappa League. We talk about finances, making sure that you have a savings account, you have a bank account. Like me and my sister talk about all the time. Make sure that you have enough money in your bank account that if anything takes place, if you have to take a flight somewhere, if you have to drive somewhere, you have just that amount of money so that you can go and handle whatever business you need to take care of. Those are the type of things that we talk about, not just spending your money on shoes. I say shoes because I enjoy shoes. I enjoy sneakers. I am a sneakerhead, but not just spending your money on shoes, but actually having some aside for a rainy day. And one of our biggest topics, and it's close to my heart, is going to college. We don't want you to just stop at high school. You hear college is not for everybody. College is not for everybody for those people who already have that college degree. That college degree, we want you to go to that next level. it doesn't stop at high school where you say, oh, high school that's my stopping point. No, you have to go more. You have to surpass where your parents went. Some of your parents went to college. Let's take it that next step further. Let's go and get that master's. Let's go and get the terminal degree in whatever field you want. It doesn't have to be law. Of course, I would love for it to be law. However, let's get that terminal degree in whatever you want it to be. Because right now you hold the keys to your future. You can do whatever as long as you apply those keys and those lessons that you learn. And we try to teach those lessons in Kappa League.
Wow. That's a good narrative. That's a very, very good narrative. You know, your narrative must have brought out some comments from some people. Let me run a few by you. Yes, from Mrs. Margie McIver said, you're doing a great job, Mr. Graham. So she must know you, huh? Obviously.
Yes, sir. Yes. Thank you, Ms. Marjorie.
And another one from Michelle Renee.
Yes, sir.
Yes, she said, yes, the life lessons Kappa League teaches are the same life skills and lessons that summer jobs provides. Summer work and mentoring go hand in hand. And that's so true. I think we just brought that up a few minutes ago. That is a fact.
Yes, sir. That's spoken from a proud teacher. Yes, sir.
A proud teacher.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Right. Yeah, they go hand in hand. So I just wanted to let the audience know that the World Community Magazine did attend. I think more than one, I believe, but at least the one that's memorable to me was at the Golden Corral, yes, where you one of the mothers of one of the young men in the league.
Yes, sir.
She was voted as what, Miss Kappa or something, or
Parent of the Year award. Yes, sir.
Yes, right.
Yes, sir. We have great parents. I could never ask for any better parents. When you call on them, they come. When you ask for anything, they're there to provide their service. I'm appreciative because you have young men who are in this program, but their parents, they not only saw fit for them to be in the program, but they also make sure that the program is getting everything that they need. And we appreciate that from the community as well. The Conway community has reached out to us. They have helped us when it comes down to community service activities. They've helped us when it comes down to tutors, because, you know, we have young men. Once you're in our program starts at 8th grade. Once you enter into our program, you're in there until you graduate. So of course we have young men. We want all of them to be great in school, but you know, sometimes it happens. Sometimes those grades slip. Sometimes they're not getting what they should be getting from the classroom. No fault on the teachers, no fault on the student. It's just a disconnect there somewhere. So we have tutors throughout the community who have helped us and have helped these Kappa Leaguers when it comes down to how to study and things of that nature. Those are also some of the things that we talk about in Kappa League. So I will give another plug. If you have a young man between 8th grade and 11th grade, and you're looking for a mentoring program, try Kappa League. I promise you, you will not be disappointed. So
can you give me a number that is how to contact not just you, but the Kappas themselves and the central office?
So the easiest number to remember is area code 843-222-6616.
And that's for
Kappa League or Kappa Alpha Psi. I promise you, if you call that number, you will have somebody answer the phone and say, "Hello, how are you doing today?" And they will have a smile on their face. They will be the same smile that you're seeing right now, just to let you know.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So we're going to I hope that's the number, 843-222-6616.
Yes, sir.
Okay, it's the Kappa League. Okay. So all young men and the parents,
yes, sir,
should most specifically should take note of that, to make sure that they're going to that they're that their child can be a part of something like that.
Yes,
Okay.
sir. I love talking to parents.
What'd you
Normal
say?
people, other people, they shy away from talking to parents. I enjoy talking to parents. I enjoy it. I actually wish that more parents will call asking about Kappa League because
Wow.
it's here in our community and it's needed. But I want to make sure that everybody knows that it's here and it's out here.
Right. I mean, well, after the day, hopefully they'll they'll be knowing something about that. You know, really, and it's. But let me, before we get off the air, let me reiterate that we I don't want to show favoritism to the Kappas compared to all the other fraternities, because there's some fantastic fraternities around here. Okay,
Yes, sir.
really,
Yes,
and everybody is all the fraternities are doing excellent jobs. Okay,
Mr.
and they're
McQueen,
excellent people. Okay, they're excellent people.
I am biased because of Kappa Alpha Psi. However, I will say that Horry County Divine Nine is doing hard work, and that goes for fraternities and sororities. We're doing hard work in our community, and it's not just about fun and games. We are showing that we're putting Horry County on our back, and we're taking it to that next level. We ask that people join in with us. You see us having an event, doesn't matter whose event it is, come out and support. We love to see new faces. We love to see when our community comes out. We are here serving you. And as president of the Calvary Myrtle Beach Alumni Chapter, I beg for you to come out to our events. Come, show us your support. Tell us what you need as a community, because we are here serving you.
That's great. That's great. So look, this album goes by so fast, man. When you get this spitting out information like that, knowing that it is being absorbed by the community and stuff like that. Okay, Mr. McIver has another comment for you, which is a great lesson for our youth. So we wanted to put that note up there. Brother George.
Yes, sir.
So good talking to you, man, and can't wait to talk to you again, and can't wait to start some of y'all program to be working with you all, and yes, hopefully we can have let me just, I'm going to get it off after this, but you said that what part of what they were doing, like they were taken down to the courthouse. Now, yes, just suppose you took 10 of those down there. I mean, that's kind of education and exposure.
Yes, sir.
And that's priceless. Okay.
Yes, sir.
That's priceless for them to see what you all as lawyers do. Okay. I mean, that's an engram. I mean, that stays on their mind.
Yes, sir. Mr. McQueen, I will say this. I'll put myself out there. My loved ones tell me I stretch myself thin, but I will put myself out there and say, if anyone is watching and they are interested in the study of law, give me a call. Give me a call. We will sit down. We will talk. I have not just myself. I have family members who are in the same practice, and someone will sit down and talk with you about your interests and make sure that you're heading down the pathway that you want to go.
Can they call you at the same? Can they call you at the same number that you deliberated earlier, or is that a new number, or what?
Well, sir, that's the best number to reach me.
That's the best number. Okay, fantastic. Yeah. Okay, so look, until the next time, we'll be talking. So look, thank you so much, George. And do you have any remarks, anything that you want to say before we get off the air?
No, sir. Just thank you for having me. Hey, family out there watching.
Thank you for spitting out that information, man. I'm going to say, that's valuable. Okay, that's valuable. So, thanks again, and good luck, man. Godspeed. We'll be talking again.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. McQueen.
You're welcome. There you have it. To our viewers, until next week. Certainly hope you enjoyed getting this kind of information, especially your parents on information about the summer jobs program and the advocacy of the Kappa Alpha Psi fraternity and the information that they spit out. Okay, so again, until next week, we hope to see you all same time at 7 p.m. Please join us when we have another guest. Okay. Good night and Godspeed. See you next week.
Thank you for watching the World Community Magazine's Hour of Power Live on Facebook with your host Edward McQueen and April Garner.